Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to change your oil on your 3rd gen Toyota 4Runner with the 3.4 liter V6 5VZ FE. First step you want to do is loosen the oil cap right here, so when you remove the drain plug, there's not a vacuum holding the oil in place. Then you want to slightly pull up the dipstick like that. Then you go underneath the car. This is your skid plate. There's an access hole right here in the skid plate, and you'll see your drain plug right there. It's a 14 millimeter, so grab your socket and break it loose. I'm gonna pause the video for a moment so I can actually do this. So once you break it loose, you just wanna loosen off the hand and position your container to catch it. Wow, this is actually hard to do with my right hand. But just loosen it. You crack it loose with the ratchet and you spin it off by hand. Oh shit, I spilled oil all over my hand. This is why you wear gloves. But this is warm oil. The car hasn't been driven in about an hour, so I'm not burning myself. So I'm gonna go change my gloves and I'll show you how to take off the oil filter next. Then to access your oil filter, you go into your left wheel fender and open this flap right here. Normally there's a plastic clip that holds it in place, but I don't have mine anymore. And right there, that's the oil filter. You wanna reach in like that, grab it with your left hand and just spin it off. Right there, see? I'm spinning it. And now it's draining down. Hopefully the container is capturing it. Nope, it's probably spilling all over my skid plate. Fuck me, holy shit. But that's how you take it off. I'm gonna tighten this back up so it doesn't spill on my skid plate anymore. You could remove the skid plate to do it, but I really don't like taking it off and putting it back on because it's hard to position the skid plate and put it back on by yourself. Unless you're on the lift, then it's really easy. And to continue with the video, we're gonna loosen the filter all the way out now. You can also do this from underneath the car, but you risk spilling this on your face, so I highly don't recommend it. And there it is. The oil filter is out. Boom. Shakalaka. Excuse the messy table, but the next step is dip your finger inside here. Put it around the gasket right here, so the next time you remove your oil filter, it doesn't get stuck on. Then, let me wipe my hand clean. Then you want to pre-fill it a little bit, just a little bit, so the engine doesn't run dry. And that's enough, because the paper element in here, it will absorb some of this, so you're able to put it in even though the filter is sideways. Here comes the fun part. We're going to try to stick the oil filter back on, right there, onto the oil filter housing. It's kind of hard to do from this angle, but I prefer not to drop this on my face. So it is what it is. You got to make things work. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, this is kind of hard to do one-handed, but it is definitely possible. Yep, I finally got it on. Sorry for the bad angles. I'm holding this phone by hand. I don't have a tripod yet. Oh, there it is. I finally got it to thread on. You'll feel for it. It's really easy to do, and you only want to tighten it by hand. So I feel it get tight like that, and I give it about a quarter of a turn more. Just like that. You only need it hand tight. You don't need to monkey it on. You monkey it on, you're gonna really cry when it comes time to remove it. And now, we're gonna put the drain plug back in. And look at that. I spilled oil all over the place because I didn't remove the skid plate. So there is a gasket on here. Personally, I'd never replaced this one. And it's been on here since the car was brand new back in 2000, so honestly, I don't care. So once you put it back on, hand start the bolt. You want to torque it down to 30 pound-feet of torque, or just get it snug with a ratchet and do an extra 1/16 of a turn. So hey guys, I torqued everything off camera because I assume you guys know how to use a torque wrench, and the angle in there was pretty bad that it's hard to use the torque wrench. without having two hands. So the trick is, if you don't have a funnel and you want to fill up the engine oil, get a water bottle like this and just cut it and fill it up like that. I know you guys had to pour oil into the engine. It takes about 5.5 to 5.7 quarts. So just pour in the first 5 quarts, check the oil level, pour the next 5 quarts. No, pour in the first 5 quarts, then pour in half a quart, right? Then slowly check the level as you add more. So pour in 5.5, you can do that blind. Then after that, slowly check the level. It's okay to overfill it by 0.1 of a quart, but you go more than, I say, 0.3 or 0.4 of a quart, you probably need to drain the oil out. So I'm gonna fill it up and I'll show you guys how to check the dipstick. I'm not gonna show you how to fill up the oil because it's hard to do one-handed. I don't have a tripod, so I'm sorry. We're gonna pull the dipstick out, and as you can see, please focus. Come on. Hold up. Give me a moment. Sorry about that. My phone's not focusing. As you can see, right there, it's at the full mark after 5.7 quarts of 5W30. As you can see on the cap, it recommends 5W30, and that's what I've always done in this car. I stuck to 3,000 mile oil change intervals. Why? Because this car is driven in city traffic a lot. Almost every single intersection, the light will turn red. So there's a lot of stop and go on this car, and it burns a lot of fuel. So I don't want the oil to get diluted with fuel. I changed it every 3,000 miles, and now the car's at 257,000 miles. So sure, I'm changing it early, but oil's cheap. Replacing a car is not. Oh yeah, a tip to filling your oil is you remove the vacuum hoses right here out of the bracket, out of the way like that, so the oil doesn't spill all over the lines. So I'm gonna put this back into place. I'm gonna snap the throttle cable back into its bracket right here. And I did spill a little bit of oil onto the wiring harness and exhaust manifold. So if you do the same thing, you drive the car, you smell oil burning, well, you spilled some on the exhaust manifold. It's perfectly normal, don't worry. It'll smell for like 30 minutes, then afterwards it'll go away. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. Sorry about the bad angles. I know it's trash, but I'm recording it one-handed.